Hello YouTube, Millennium X17 here, going to give you my impressions video for the WWE Network. Now, just like I said, I was going to get it, I did. I got the free 1-week trial, and it's been a rocky road to say at the very least. It's a hot mess, but with that said, the backbone of the network, the MLB Advanced Media Digital Service, I have to give them a round of applause because they are really impressing me with how fast they fix problems. You know, like being a gamer and all that, it's like developers sometimes just take months to patch things. It takes weeks to get those up to speed and out the door. In the matter of a week, they've fixed a vast majority of a lot of the initial issues. When they turned down the servers last Monday, they pretty much got kicked square in the nuts, and they came out and said that we've never seen this much traffic before. It's like, well, I don't know how popular baseball is these days, but I can pretty well guess that it's nowhere near the amount that the WWE would traffic, which obviously was the case, so not too surprising there. But, in the week since, initially, beginning of last week, it takes 3-4 times to get something started, and then once it did, it would go for maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and then it would just stop. I don't know if sometimes it would get choppy, but then eventually it would just stop, and it just wouldn't work. And you couldn't restart it. Sometimes it would even kick you back to the main screen and what have you. So it's like, it was a hot mess at the beginning. Now, it's really calmed down. A lot of my initial gripes with it have been fixed. You can watch stuff, you can fast forward. It, by and large, does work. A couple of weird fatal errors that have been popping up. It literally goes to a screen and says, "Oh, fatal error, please close the application." And on the PlayStation 4 here, I go and I hit the center button, go back to the dashboard, go back in, and it's still there. You literally have to restart the PlayStation 4 console. And that's actually a good thing to know. I'm on the PlayStation 4 for the WWE Network. Between that and the PC, I've watched a lot of stuff. Initially, last week, when the PS4 application wasn't working, the PC would work infinitely better. So that one, I think the PC is their native platform, and it goes through all these applications, but the applications on the game consoles and the Roku box and the what have yous are second to the PC application. That through their website seems to work the best. Now the PS4 app works great. As soon as you figured out how to log in, which is a bizarre thing, instead of when you're typing in your password and whenever you don't hit the X button, you hit the O, which that's just bizarre. It threw me for a loop at first. But initially when it launched, there was no search function. There is now. They keep adding stuff. Raw and SmackDown and the what have you are on a 30-day delay. Honestly, I'm not surprised. There was a lot about the network we weren't sure of, and that was one of the things. And as we found out, there's a 30-day delay. That's because they have major network TV deals. That's not going to be a problem. As it stands right now, though, when initially the Royal Rumble 2014 was not on, and Elimination Chamber, which happened the night beforehand, were not on, and it came to knowledge that those were going to be 30-day delays. And the Royal Rumble 2014, they just put on the app. It's on the network now, like silently. They didn't have a live stream of it or anything. They just sort of put it on demand, and nobody, I don't know how many people have noticed that. But moving forward into WrestleMania, they've advertised you'd have all 12 pay-per-views live. And this is where I start to get really, really worried. Theoretically speaking, you could use the network to watch the entirety of all the shows and all the pay-per-views 30 days delayed. So you'd actually be behind by a month, opposed to everyone who's just, up to date and paying for the pay-per-views or watching them live on the network. As it pertains to me, I work on the weekends, on the nights. So every time there's a live pay-per-view on a Sunday night, I'm working. So if I can't, Tuesday morning when I get home from work Monday night, watch the pay-per-views streamed, 2 days later on the network, what's the point of me paying, $30 or $10 a month, $60 for the 6 months? What's the point of me, paying for a service that I'm going to end up having to watch delayed? There isn't any. And that's my biggest concern moving forward. While initially there was a lot of problems, a lot of those have been solved. Like the MLB Advanced Media has really stepped up to the plate. They've really, I didn't even mean to do that. they've really worked out a lot of the initial bugs to get the thing to work on a consistent basis. It still has its problems here and there. I still think it's very promising, but just moving forward, we don't know. Like, there's the WWE have themselves come up with like a fact page before the network even launched, and it's like point 19 and 20, I think, or something off the top of my head. It says something to the effect of you'll be able to watch original programming streamed immediately at the conclusion of the said programming. Now, do they consider a pay-per-view original programming, or is that under an agreement with a pay-per-view, company? It's like, at this point in time, I don't know. Did they rework the deal after the Elimination Chamber, and then moving forward with WrestleMania 30 and on into the future, then they can immediately restream it? We don't know. They themselves have not said it, and that's a problem. You ask the WWE, they'll tell you it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. Not so much. It's a good idea. It has unbelievable potential that I'd like to see. NXT was great. I saw that. That was amazing. I like Countdown. Countdown's pretty good. The second episode just went live the other night. I have to watch that. I've been watching the Royal Rumbles. I started in the very first Royal Rumble, 1988. Yeah, 88. I'm 2 hours and 10 minutes into the Royal Rumble from 1992, and I intend to watch them all. Though after 4, I think now, Royal Rumbles, my brain's kind of just... It might just explode if I keep watching the Royal Rumble, because just watching people, try to push people over the ropes, it's just, after a while, my brain can't handle it. It's like, okay, I'm probably going to get to the end of that, and I'm going to go to other pay-per-views. I've seen, One Night Stand from 06, when Rob Van Dam won. I saw a couple other pay-per-views here and there. A lot of the Montreal Screwjob, I saw that one. Just so much history of the WWE that like I said, right there, Goldberg. I was into WCW, and when they got bought out by Vince McMahon, I kind of got into Raw a little bit here and there, but I just really didn't get it. I was younger at the time, and I just stopped watching. So, all this stuff with the WWE that I've never seen myself that I'd very much like to. The big draw that I'm willing to pay $10 a month for is if I can watch the pay-per-views, but if I can't watch them on a timely basis, there's no point in me continuing to do so. I'd be crazy to pay for a service that I can't watch on a timely basis. And for my situation, there's no way I'm not going to, 12 times a year, once a month, I'm going to have, ask for a night off of my work. I'm not going to do that. That's insane. So I can't watch the pay-per-views live. So if you can't, if they don't go on demand immediately thereafter, starting with WrestleMania 30, that's a problem. WWE, they don't explicitly say it. They specifically advertise you can watch all 12 pay-per-views live. In the fact, they said original programming, but they might just think like Countdown, Beyond the Ring, a couple of others, Legends House, which people freaked out about that, even though in my original video I said that starts in April. I don't know how many people noticed that. Well, obviously nobody did, because everyone freaked their shit out. It was like an asterisk at the bottom of the website when you went to sign up that nobody probably read. I saw that one, though. And that's what I'm a little concerned about moving forward, is WWE hasn't said whether or not you can stream a pay-per-view after the fact. There's a wrestlingworldnews.com. I have the link in the description. But they say, oh yeah, starting with WrestleMania 30, you'll be able to, rerun the show on demand at any time, at its conclusion. During a live program, when you click on it, even if there's only 2 minutes left, you can have an option to restart from the beginning. Same thing for the live pay-per-views, but there's no confirmation as to whether or not you can do that. Like, say, WrestleMania concludes, and then that very next morning I get home and I just happen to have that Monday night off, which I probably won't, but just for an example, could I then restart pay-per-view at 7 a.m. the next morning? We don't know. There's still a couple of things that are yet to be answered. There's still bugs to iron out. I think it's a good idea, but there's still just too much open in the air. The big thing, like I said, for me, the pay-per-views. I don't know if I'll be able to watch them, because, I don't know if I really want to care to watch them 30 days later. That's just me. I think it's a good thing. If you're really into the old stuff, get it. If you're a casual fan, I'd hold off right now. I'd imagine they're going to take the 1 free week trial away before the week before WrestleMania, so that there's no chance of you being able to see the Hall of Fame ceremony the night beforehand and WrestleMania itself, I would imagine. So there's no chance of anyone getting it for free. So, I think they've already figured that one out. So don't think you're going to be crafty and get it for free and then cancel and, I got WrestleMania anyway. No, it's not going to work that way. I'd be willing to bet. We'll have to see. I'll probably have a full impressions video shortly after WrestleMania. If I'm not able to watch WrestleMania in a timely fashion, by timely fashion I mean if they don't put it up for rewatch within the matter of 2 days after the show, then they probably won't for another, for the full 30-day delay, which for Raw and SmackDown I was expecting, I was expecting something, but now that I know that's what it is, I understand that. But for the pay-per-views, there's no reason for that. And if they do that, then I will be canceling at the end of the 6 month that I said I was going to. I'm going to try it out, and again, if I can, it'll be great. If not, then there's no reason for me to keep it. And that's my impressions video right now. It's just same as was, before the network. It's a great idea, but there's too much we don't know about it yet. So, yeah, that's all I got for that. If I keep going, I'll just keep repeating myself. So, until next time, guys, have yourselves a good day.